The Roman Empire did not fall, not in the way we were taught. There was no single catastrophic moment, no day when the lights went out across the ancient world. Rome didn't fall. Rome chose this. At its peak, Rome was not just a place. It was an idea made real. In 117 AD, under Emperor Trajan, the empire reached its greatest extent. It stretched from the misty highlands of Scotland to the sun-scorched deserts of Mesopotamia. It encompassed the entire Mediterranean Sea, which the Romans called Mare Nostrum, our sea. More than 50 million people, perhaps as many as 70 million, lived under the eagle's shadow. They spoke hundreds of languages and worshipped countless gods, yet they were all bound by a single system of law, a common network of trade, and the overwhelming presence of Roman power. The city of Rome itself was the heart, a metropolis of 1 million souls, a scale no Western city would match for over 1,000 years. 11 major aqueducts carried fresh water to baths, fountains and homes, a volume per capita greater than many modern cities. Their concrete opus caementitium made the Pantheon's dome, still the largest unreinforced in the world. 400,000 kilometers of roads, over 80,000 stone paved, and a state postal system spanned the empire. Law, the Senate, provincial administration, logistics, a standardized currency, a civilization of institutions. Most explanations start outside, the invasions, but Rome's collapse made the invasions possible. It began in the economy, in the currency, and in something the Romans consumed every day. For centuries, the empire ran on the denarius, about 95% silver under Augustus. It was trusted. A soldier knew his pay, a merchant knew its worth. But empires are expensive. Armies, bureaucracy, courts, roads, wars. When revenue lagged, emperors chose the easier path. Tamper with the money. Recall, melt, mix in base metals, mint more coins from the same silver. Under Nero, roughly 90%. By Marcus Aurelius, around 75. People noticed. They hoarded older, purer coins. Bad money drives out good. Purchasing power fell, prices rose, inflation took hold. By the 260s, many coins were bronze with a silver wash, 2 to 5% silver. Trade contracted. Regions turned inward. Barter returned. The army, paid in coin, demanded more. More pay meant more debasement. In 301, Diocletian tried maximum prices. Shortages and black markets followed. The edict failed. This was financial suicide. An empire that had banked on a stable currency bankrupted itself from within. Alongside monetary decay, Rome may have suffered a subtler poison: lead. They mastered water engineering, and plumbum, lead, ran through it. Lead-lined pots, and a sweetener, supper, lead acetate, flavoured wine and food. They knew it was dangerous. Vitruvius warned. Pliny noted sick lead workers. Skeletal analyses show Roman-era lead far above baseline populations. Ice cores reveal Roman lead pollution peaking until the Industrial Revolution. Exposure likely highest among the elite, the people making decisions. Skeptics point to hard water forming protective scale, limiting exposure. And Rome still produced capable leaders after lead use spread. The correlation exists. The causation is contested. Draw your own conclusion. What is not debated? The Romans consumed lead systematically, and the 3rd century's instability coincided with peak elite exposure. In 50 years between 235 and 284 AD, Rome had 26 emperors. The crisis of the 3rd century is where collapse becomes visible. In 235, Alexander Severus was murdered by his own troops. The machine broke. For 5 decades, soldier emperors rose by the sword and fell by it. The Senate, Rome's memory, was sidelined by barracks power. Outside, the Sassanids struck hard. In 260, Shapur captured Emperor Valerian. On the northern frontiers, Germanic confederations pressed everywhere at once. At its nadir, the empire split in 3. The Gallic Empire in the west, Gaul, Britain, Spain. Palmyra, under Zenobia in the east, Syria, Palestine, Egypt. The legitimate emperor held Italy, North Africa, the Balkans, barely. Rome walled itself, for the first time in centuries. Civil war drained men and money, maintenance ceased, systems unravelled. Aurelian patched it together in the 270s, but what returned was a military autocracy. After the crisis, Rome did not recover its old coherence. It managed decline. Diocletian, 284 AD, faced a broken system. He created the Tetrarchy, 2 Augusti and 2 Caesars, decentralizing command. He expanded army and bureaucracy, split provinces smaller, taxed in kind and labor. In 301, he fixed prices. The market broke. The edict failed. He saved Rome from immediate collapse at the cost of an oppressive state. Constantine won the civil wars, ended Christian persecution, and reshaped the state. He founded Constantinople in 330, strategically brilliant and defensible. Wealth, talent, and court gravitated east. The west became the poorer partner. In 395, Theodosius split east and west administratively, a division that became permanent because the west could not recover. By the 5th century, the west was a ghost. Its army Germanic, its taxes failing, its roads crumbling, and one administrative decision opened the door to everything that followed. Fleeing the Huns, the Visigoths reached the Danube in 376 AD. Refugees, not invaders. Emperor Valens allowed them to cross and settle as subjects. Officials stole supplies, sold dog meat, and took children for slaves. Humiliated and hungry, the Goths revolted. On August 9th, 378, near Adrianople, they annihilated Rome's eastern field army and killed Valens. In 382, Theodosius settled the Visigoths as foederati, armed and semi-autonomous inside the empire. They served Rome, but obeyed their own commanders first. In 410, Alaric sacked Rome for 3 days, a shock more than a conquest. The city survived. The aura of invincibility did not. The 382 settlement became a template, not replacement by conquest, but substitution from within. The people who replaced Rome were already inside it. 476 AD. Odoacer deposed Romulus Augustulus, a teenager ruling almost nothing. He didn't take the title. He sent the regalia east, diadem, scepter, purple robe. Most people barely noticed. Administration, worship, and law went on. Institutions were absorbed, adapted, preserved, and especially by it in the East, which lasted 1,000 years more. The fall was a 3-century diminishment. Roads worse, coins lighter, water pressure lower, offices meaning less, until a king didn't bother calling himself emperor. The Roman Empire took 5 centuries to build and 3 centuries to collapse. It destroyed itself with debased currency, political instability, institutional corruption, and short-term choices. The Eastern Empire, which made different choices, lasted another 1,000 years. Rome didn't fall. Rome chose this. The archive shows exactly how and who chose. History's dark archives. The greatest civilizations don't collapse. They choose to.